Hi, this is Ann Rossley with Baird& Warner coming to you on November 10th, talking about real estate in downtown Chicago. What are the average prices, selling time, what's the market like? Let's take a look. We're going to talk today about the North Chicago Township and Lakeview Township. And to give you a sense of where those are located, the North Chicago Township is that area that encompasses Near North and Lincoln Park, basically from the Chicago River on the south to Fullerton on the north, Lake Michigan on the east, and the river on the west. Lakeview Township is a larger area. It's the area you see on the map here. It extends from Fullerton up to Devon Avenue, Western Avenue being the primary western boundary, although there is some Chicago River in there as well. Absolutely like the North Chicago Township, Lake Michigan is to the east. So let's look first at single-family homes. The median sales price for a single-family home in the North Chicago Township is $1,324,000 and change. That's up 8.8% versus 2020. And in Lakeview, the median sales price for a single-family home is $1,264,000. Let's look at it over time. Since November 2012, which was the bottom of the marketplace in terms of pricing, single-family homes in Lakeview are up 50%. And in North Chicago, the median sales price for a single-family home is up 72.3%. Obviously, there have been some bumps along the way, but in terms of trend overall, those are some pretty strong numbers. Looking at number of homes for sale, we don't have many on the market. It's very short on inventory right now. Currently in Lakeview, there are only 116 homes for sale, whereas in the North Chicago Township, there are 149 homes. These are down in number between 31 and 43% versus 1 year ago at this time. Number of homes under contract. In North Chicago, 37 homes went under contract in October. In Lakeview, 53 went under contract. In North Chicago, that was the same as the previous year. However, in Lakeview, that was up 15%. Number of closed sales during the month of October. In North Chicago, 46 homes closed. That was down 20% versus the previous year. And in Lakeview, 47 was a 6% decline versus the previous year. And you can see the months here as we go. But let's look at just how strong the real estate market has been in Chicago. These numbers show us year to date, January through October, by year, 2019, 2020, and 2021 for each of the two townships. Let's look first at the red. That is North Chicago Township. And you can see that almost $734 million worth of home sales took place this year. Excuse me. That is almost a 61% increase over what happened last year in 2020. That was a 20% increase over the previous year of 2019. So even during COVID, single-family home sales went up 20% versus 2019, and then went up another 60% for 2021, January through October. Let's look at Lakeview. $735 million worth of sales in the Lakeview Township was up 43% versus 2020. And that was down 4.3% versus the previous year. So 2019, 2020 were pretty similar in terms of sales volume through end of October, but 2021 just hit the mark with 43% up. It's not a surprise that our month supply of homes for sale is very low right now. 6% is static, meaning it's neither a buyer's market nor a seller's market. And 2.8 and 2.1 months worth of inventory means it would take roughly 2 months to sell out everything that's on the market today, given the current rate of sale. So it is very much a seller's market. And that doesn't mean that homes are going to sell no matter what price is placed on them. But if the home is priced right, it's definitely a seller's market. All right, let's take a quick look at condos. Median sales price for a condominium in North Chicago is $389,900, down 2.5%. It's been pretty static in pricing over the last several years. In Lakeview, it's absolutely not up, not down. $340,000 is the median sales price, is exactly where we were last year. So let's look at condos over an almost 10-year trend. November of 2012 was about the bottom since the 2008 crash. And you can see that since that November 2012, median sales price for North Chicago condos up 34.4, for Lakeview condos up 42.2. So investing in condominiums is still a very good investment here in Chicago. Homes for sale. Currently, there are 1,979 condos for sale in the North Chicago Township. Not a surprise because this encompasses Streeterville, Michigan Avenue area, River North, Gold Coast. Very strong condo markets. There are 1,115 condos for sale in Lakeview. Both areas show a substantial decline in number of condos on the market now versus last year. Under contract. In October, 393 went under contract in North Chicago, 312 in Lakeview. It was a significant increase in the number of condos that went under contract in North Chicago versus Lakeview. It was pretty much static. During the month of October, 394 condos closed in the North Chicago Township, 304 closed in Lakeview, pretty similar to the year before. But you can see that we had a significant increase during the first 10 months of the year versus the previous year. All right, let's look at the dollar volume year to date. This is like we looked at for single family homes. $2.5 billion worth of condos closed January through October 2021. This is a almost 52% increase over 2020. And 2020 was down 18%. Generally speaking, we saw a very strong exit from condominiums in downtown Chicago towards single family homes, either in outlying neighborhoods or in the suburbs. But you can see that we've rebounded substantially higher, much higher than 2019. Condominiums in Lakeview Township, on the other hand, were up substantially in 2021, and 2020 was even up versus 2019. They both say 1.2 billion here, but it was slightly, those are rounded obviously, and it's slightly higher for 2020. So very strong market condos year to date. Month supply of homes, inventory, absorption rate. There are only 4.3 months worth of inventory in North Chicago. That's down 55% versus previous year. In Lakeview, 2.6 is down 49%. You can see that post-COVID, we had a very high inventory. We were up to 10 months worth of inventory in North Chicago, and it has come down considerably, both in sales and in Lakeview sales. So we are back on track for a very strong market in both areas. So that's it. That's the market in a nutshell. Keep in mind, these are lagging indicators, meaning that we're talking about sales and closings that took place in October. Today is November 11th. And for a much more up-to-date set of numbers, we have to look at showings and foot traffic. I'll save that for a different episode. If you have any, if you'd like any questions answered, if you'd like more information about your home and where you live, please reach out to me. Again, I'm Ann Rossley with Baird & Warner. I look forward to speaking with you soon. Thanks.